guys, it's Sam, and this is my spoilery gush video for The Renter's Crime by Marie Witkowski. As I said, this video will have spoilers in it, so if you haven't read this book, I will link my spoiler-free review down below. So as I said in my review, I was really nervous that it had been a little bit of time since reading The Winter's Curse, and that I was going to forget about the characters and about what was going on, and that I was going to be unsure. And I was hesitant to pick up this book for that reason, and also because I had heard it was bringing a lot of people pain. So I was a little hesitant to pick this up, but when I did, I could not put it down. I immediately got sucked back into the world, and I am in awe of this book, and also hurt by it still. So this book really was stressful for me to read, and it brought me physical pain. I don't know how many times my stomach just dropped with all the things that were happening. Throughout this book, I feel like you keep getting your heart ripped out and stomped on, and then you're like, oh wait, something good's gonna happen, something good's gonna happen, and then it doesn't, and you get stomped on again, and then you wait, and the cycle just continues throughout the whole book. I knew that the book had a cliffhangery ending because people were talking about it on Twitter and stuff, and people were warning me about it, but I didn't know exactly how painful that ending was going to be until I got to it, and I knew it was coming. I had like 2 pages left, and I was like, no, something has to happen, it can't end like this, and then it did. And then it did. What I really liked about this book is that it was a story built on lies that I found infuriating, but that was also really well done. Typically speaking, especially with young adult books, if you have 2 characters that are lying to each other, but they're just like, if you just talk to one another, everything will be fine. I usually hate that about books, but this was actually done really well. I was irritated at times, I was frustrated, I was stressed out. I just wanted them to talk and be honest, but I knew how they couldn't be. The Emperor in this book is vile. I have not hated a character so much in a very, very long time. I just can't stand him. Usually I kind of like villains. I'm like, ooh, you're so evil and conniving. But him I legitimately hate. Like, there's nothing redeeming about him to me. I hate him so much. So I knew why they had to kind of lie to each other, obviously, but there were so many times when it's like, just be honest, just be honest. And then at the end, when Tenson died and he had the letter on him, like, oh my gosh, why do you have to go and die when you have like important plot information to give to the other main character? So frustrating, but again, so well done. I was waiting for something to happen, I was waiting for everything to just be remedied, and usually you have these kinds of things remedied very quickly, especially in young adult, and we didn't have that with this, and although it rips my heart into tiny, tiny pieces, I love it. I really like how both Kestrel and Aaron are so out of their element in this book, especially Kestrel. This book to last book, she's completely different. She's still conniving, she's still smart, but she's making a lot more mistakes. She's no longer on solid ground, she no longer feels like she has the upper hand, and she's scrambling and making a lot of errors. And that made her have kind of a more human element to her. I love her as a character in book 1. I still love her now. I loved her then. But it just kind of knocked her down a few pegs, so it's not like she's invincible or anything, especially against this very, very conniving Emperor character. Also, we have Aaron, who was so kind of strong and steadfast for the most part in book 1, even when everything was kind of happening and going down, and I loved how he was kind of falling apart too. He crumbled a lot in this book, and I really kind of did appreciate that. I hate how they're both second-guessing their kind of relationship and their connection. That it tears my heart out. I can't, but it was so well done, and I just really like how they're very, very different people in this book, and they're definitely evolving and changing, and I'm really interested to see how it works out in book 3 when they do eventually come back together, because they are going to come back together, right? Right? They have to, right? I really enjoyed the family and friend dynamics within this book too. I liked that we got everything kind of fleshed out with Jess and Kestrel especially, and their friendship. And even though it broke my heart and I was really upset about Jess kind of abandoning Kestrel, I understand why she did it. It makes complete sense. It's not just thrown in there to give our main character a curveball. It completely makes sense that she would do that. And I was just heartbroken for how alienated Kestrel was getting in this book, how separated she is from everybody else. And I was really intrigued by the whole kind of friendship between her and Varix. That very easily could have been made into a really crappy love triangle, and I'm so glad that Marie Witkowski didn't take it there, because she definitely could have. I think other authors might have, and she didn't. And I loved that they formed this friendship, this kind of understanding. They are very different, but they are also very similar, trying to survive in this world that's very hard to survive in, with an emperor who is very, very hard to survive with. And I really also enjoyed the Varix Rasha plotline. I'm interested to see where that goes in the future. I just think Varix is a very interesting character because he came out of this empire kind of like Kestrel, very different from what was expected of him. Not exactly this like physically strong person, not even really mentally strong necessarily, very kind, but not conniving the way that even Kestrel is, so it's very interesting to see them kind of pair up and be friends. Also, the father-daughter relationship situations in here are heartbreaking. Everything with her dad, where he was finally listening to her music, and then he found out the secret at the end and betrayed her, just rip out my still beating heart and stomp on it on the floor. Like, ugh, but so well done. Again, the family dynamics are so well done in these, and I am really worried for the last books. I cannot believe that he would betray his only daughter, the only person that he has. Oh my gosh. One of the lines I really enjoy from here is when Kestrel says, "If you won't be my friend, then you'll regret being my enemy," and I hope that that comes up within book 3. I hope that finally she can kind of take everything back and twist it back and said she is so intelligent, and I really need her to just very much conquer that emperor and just twist everything on his head and take him down. Just take him down. So lastly, I've already kind of touched on it, but that ending is heartbreaking and crushing, and I'm so upset that we have our characters going in 2 separate directions. I don't know how Kestrel is going to get out of being up in that like prison wasteland area. What the heck? I don't know how Aaron's gonna find out about her. Maybe the moth situation? Maybe that guy will get him the moth? I don't know how that's possibly gonna happen. It's the only hope I have. How am I supposed to wait? How are we supposed to wait a whole year for the next book to come out after that? Really? 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 So that is how I feel about The Winter's Crime. I am obviously heartbroken. It was 5 out of 5 stars, but I am a shattered, broken person. So comment down below and let me know what you thought of the book and discuss with me. I am still reeling from it. It's been over a day of me trying to recover, and it still hasn't quite happened yet. So discuss with me about this, guys. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see all of you guys soon. Bye!